reporting. Open utilized tickets, if not closed, can be voided, cancelled, or even exchanged, leading to revenue loss. I want to believe this was a fraudulent scheme of sorts, because, okay, we can even say negligence, because if you're supposed to close the ticket and you don't close it, that means somebody else, or that same person gets to use it again without paying, and for that matter, occasionally the financial loss on the airline. Who was responsible for that? Maybe.
Thank you, Chairman. In our practice, the commercial team was assisting in that process.
Commercial team. And at that time, Jannifer Bamuturaki was commercial director, right? Or who was commercial director?
No, it is this time when she was acting CEO.
When she was CEO. Okay, so now as CEO, because you're the overall boss, how is this happening under your watch? So now you're even occupying a bigger position. You're the one superintendent of commercial.
What Paul has not mentioned, which I would like him to mention in the process, is that the closing of flights should happen automatically. In Entebbe, where we have the biggest departures on the network, the systems, our passenger system, which is Altea, is sitting on the airport system, so they're synchronized. So when the flight departs, just at the stroke of a button, the flights are closed, and the team in revenue accounting, who is the team that is under Paul, are able to reflect that the flights have taken off, and this money is now showing that it is realized. So in this matter that Paul reported, it was from a station which was having integration challenges. So ideally, when a flight takes off, like what happens in Entebbe, the system closes automatically, or where it doesn't close, the operations team close that system. Meaning they go into the system and they start to close one by one. Now, depending on which route this is reported, if let's say it is Juba, you'll have to look at the number of people that have flown. Juba being a high busy route, will probably have in a week maybe about 400. I'm just giving an example. So this manual intervention that commercial is doing means they have to go on the system and start to close one by one. Now, because they are closing one by one, considering they're also taking calls, that process delayed, because they are doing the closure as well as managing their own telephone calls. So what Paul is saying, what has changed now, is that the route that was having these challenges now has a system process happening, and I would like Don to explain to you how that happens. That's why he's able to report that the figure has reduced, that is not showing them where the money is. So the figure has come down from 250 something down to 36,000, because the teams have gone in and closed the tickets, each one of them. So Honorable, I don't know if I've confused you. Don can explain the technical detail if you allow.
Just a second. Regina, you're the head commercial, where all this is supposed to be happening. And by the way, yesterday when I asked this, somebody near you there had you saying, I don't even know what I'm talking about, as you were whispering. But that's okay. Now that you are here, you who knows these things and who was in charge, even though you're not qualified for that job, according to your CV. So tell us, because this is under your watch, how does this get to happen under your watch? Because inevitably, you're causing a financial loss to the airline.
Thank you, Chair. Beginning apologizing for laughing and making a number of noise. I didn't intend it. Secondly, correction, I'm just acting director commercial, but once the job is advertised, then they will get the correct person name. Thirdly, usually when the system is supposed to have an auto integration.
Baby, how long have you been acting director commercial?
It's coming to a year.
Coming to a year. Okay, go ahead.
Thank you, Chair. Under normal circumstances, as the CEO said, the system is supposed to auto integrate, whereby the reservation system out there is supposed to work hand in hand or to read into the DCS system. The session we are talking about is at the time of this report, it was manual, whereby the systems were not reading each other. And we need to understand that we are using a third party, which is Binata by. So after saying that, the system was not reading each other manually. And as per the report, which first came out and which was submitted, my response I submitted to the board, the report I have here, it indicates that most of 97% of the tickets which were shown as lost revenue, all the revenue is there. And we also need to put into consideration that the revenue accounting team, which is working on these documents or tickets, they do not have ticketing experience. So you need to, first of all, we need to know, first of all, we need to have training throughout. Yes, you can, yes. You cannot interpret a ticket when you don't know the ticket details. Yes.
Please carry on.
As per the response I have here, and the letter submitted to the board, I can share it with you, Chair, which shows all the details. Thank you.
Chair, clarification.
Yes, please.
Chair, the first clarification is going to Regina. I want her to tell us whether there are no people who have experience in ticketing and why they chose to use those ones without experience. But the other clarification I want to get is from Director Finance. Chair, when this program came, the Director Finance wrote direct to the board. He did not write to the commercial department, which had erred as they want to put it. And he did not write to the supervisor, who is the CEO, that look, there is this program. He wrote directly to the board. Could we tell us why he jumped those two offices and wrote to the board, which takes months without sitting, if the thing was okay?
Okay, and maybe as you answer that, Paul, again from this your report, you said based on the responses from some of the travel agents that voided some tickets, the airline stands limited chances to recover funds from the refundable and voided tickets. The airline will also lose funds from tickets that were exchanged without charging the exchange fees. That worries me. That worries the taxpayer out there. You know that money will not be recovered. So respond to us about that. And also, okay, just take note of that because we want to understand. You have your supervisor, Jannifer Bamuturaki. So were you whistleblowing to the board, or what exactly?
Mine is
Yes, please.
the director so that he responds to us.
Colleagues, it's 1:30.
Yes.
We have plenary at 2.
Chair.
And I must give you about 15 minutes to get set. So
Chair.
keep your questions very short so that we get quick responses and we wrap it up.
Chair, when the Director of Finance was responding about the airline brokers limited, Together Online, he said they just paid them up to April. Meaning, May, June, July, you will have either cancelled their contract or you have to explain to us. And my worry is, if you terminate their contract without following the procedure you did on Abavata, I don't know if the Great Administration will elect you to pay fines. Why have you not paid them for June, May, June, and July, and August? Have you terminated their contract?
Okay, Honorable Wada, 30 seconds.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, three observations. One, Madam Jannifer has not been given personal answers. From most of her answers have been sent to her on phone. And Chair, I will submit tangible evidence. When I was coming, I requested to play a video. Now, when you are transcribing for me the system here, I realized it was at all time first reading her phone, then giving an answer. And that's why she has been quiet deliberately. And according to the preliminary findings, it is her lawyer furnishing her with the answers on phone, and then she reads. That's why she has made it summarized, but she knows the answer, and she can answer. So I'm praying that for final answers, you don't allow her to look at her phone. Let her answer without looking at her phone, because we are talking about papers and documentary proof we already have, and information in her knowledge. I saw for a second, Chair, when the former chair board was appearing for the committee, he alleged said that as board chair, he had a constant influence and interference by army generals from Operation Wealth Creation. What Madam Jannifer John record, whether she's not under control and influence of the same generals under Operation Wealth Creation, or not, because they were hiding issues between the charter planes. But when you look at the media, it has been basically State House, Cosase, among others. This is the national airline. So we want to understand the intricacies. Probably this is deliberate. Is it a matter of doing security or transport? And lastly, Chair, we may need to interest ourselves on the human resource manual. If officers can have personnel